Hello, this is Lisa LaRose here on Connect to Love on PRNFM. And Michael J. Ross is somebody who is a gift in my life. And I want to welcome you, Michael, to the show today because you and I, it seems that we are such kindred spirits. There's so many things that connect us in so many different ways. And so, Michael, I want to welcome you. And I'm excited for our conversation today because you inspire me.
I'm excited every week.
Inspire me. Yeah, me too. Me too. And
I guess
go ahead, please.
I'm in my head way too much lately, but I love it because I am in the depths of thinking that I haven't been in some period of time, and that makes me feel good. It also helps me stay on track and stay happy and stay joyful, stay energetic. That's what I feel it's doing for me.
That's a beautiful gift.
Yeah, it's just something I've chosen, just to let a lot of things in life just fall away and focus on those very few things that bring me joy, make me happy, that are experiential, positively experiential, and getting together with friends and eating a good meal, sharing a laugh, talking about things that we like. And I've, in this world today, which, we're not the only country in the U.S. that's, divisive, and there's just a lot going on out there that is a lot of unkindness, a lot of things that are the antithesis of what we really want to be. They're not joyful. They're not happy. And Carol Collins, in a nice personal tape that got made for me. I keep listening to it over and over, and I'm catching these little nuances, and I'm relating them to my own life and how I have what I've been doing for 65 years, and how I've evolved over that period of time to be where I am today, where I can appreciate where I am, what I'm doing, and making decisions that benefit me from a perspective of joy, and attempting to be in that space. Yeah, attempting to be in that space of joy no matter what, because we get it is. We said this before. If you turn on the news, you're going to become distracted by all the stuff that's out there. If you leave the news off for a week, you don't know about it. It doesn't impact you because it's not part of your inner circle. It's not part of your inner sphere. You're in the essence of who you are and your energy field. None of that touches your energy field until you watch it, and then you now judge it as bad or ugly or tragic, or the what's going on, other people's demise. None of that really has anything to do with you and your energy field. We forget about this. Our energy field and our space around us, the people within that connect with our energy field, that's a whole different experience than what we see in the media. And the media survives based on, it survives on and thrives on negativity, which isn't good for you, me, and all of our listeners. It's not really good for us. Right. Because life is, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, because it puts you into fear. And that's what we were talking about before the show. Because last week we spoke about Tina Turner and all of the things that she reinvented in her life. And one of the things in the book, and I want to just read the quote because it's so appropriate to what you're speaking to.
Please do.
And it talks about, she did a spoken word project with, actually the project is called the BeyondMusic.org project, where they combined spiritual faith of Buddhism and Christianity, and the beautiful chance and embrace the similarities. And she did some spoken word. And I just wanted to read this because it's just a paraphrase of what the her longer message was. And she said, to go beyond fear, it takes you to the place where love grows, where you refuse to follow the impulses of fear, anger, and revenge. Beyond means to feel yourself. Start every day singing like the birds. go beyond to feel the oneness of unity. And so of course, it inspired me to look up the word beyond. I'm like going, okay, beyond's an adverb, beyond's a preposition, but it was beyond the noun. I mean, beyond the preposition means it's like out of the sphere, but beyond the noun was like, it was something that lies out of the scope of ordinary experience. I'm going, yes, that's what we want.
Right.
We want to look
something beyond the scope of everyday experience. Right. I like that.
Right. Yeah. And there was a quote right below it by Robert Nathan. He said, there's a beyond that the mind can't see, and that's where the answers are. And I think, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Michael, that is where you are. You're in that realm right now. You're going beyond where the mind can't see to find and discover and tune in to what Tina Turner was talking about, where you feel. Like, what are you feeling? What is the right path for your next part of your journey? And being true to that and owning that and really being, I guess steadfast in your resolve that nothing will take you from that experience or whatever it is that's meant to unfold. And I do the same thing. I'm very stubborn, when I feel like, no, you know what, this is taking me away from who I came here to be and what, whether it be love. I want to give a shout out to the drugstore chain Rite Aid, because they have a sign outside before you walk into the store. The kindness is important, not only for their employees to treat you with kindness, but for each one of us to treat each other with kindness. And I said something to the employee today. I said, wow, it is before you walk through their doors. That's the big word you see is kindness. And you hit on it too, kindness. And that's where we go. We go beyond what we're being fed to that place where love grows, which I really loved that analogy. I think we should all have a beautiful garden where we grow love, and we share those seeds, and we spread it throughout the universe, and let go of, as you said, those limiting.
We have to make it a mission.
Limiting beliefs.
We have to make it a mission of ours. It's interesting because, as I've said many times, we can set whatever goal we want to be happy, to be joyful, to enjoy life, and we are until something greater comes along that kind of like smashes that out of existence. And that is our everyday mission from the moment we get up to the time we go to bed, is to mitigate those things that would seek to squash our joy, to eliminate our joy, our happiness, to impede it. And that's everything else. You can be awesome. You can feel good. And then you have a flat tire. Well, you have to embrace the fact that you have a flat tire. That's the only thing you can do. Otherwise, the flat tire then destroys the joy that you have in the moment. It's just a flat tire. You make a phone call, maybe you call AAA, maybe you go in the trunk and get another one. You make sure that you're safe on the road, and you change it and you move on. It's just that simple. Investing in it, and I mentioned some of it the other day. I said, and you got to really be careful about what you decide to invest in. What are you investing your emotion in? What are you investing your joy into? Because that's the way you have to look at it. Is as Carol Collins, or Mike Guide said in a piece with Carol Collins, every morning you wake up and you have a bank account of joy and happiness and love, and technically your bank account is overflowing, always overflowing, because the more that you give, the more it grows. The more you express love to yourself and others, the more kindness that you put out there to yourself and then put out there to others. And same thing with compassion and empathy, all those things. You have unlimited bank accounts. And one of the things, once we embrace that, and literally the basic fact when we wake up that our mission in life is to spend our joy, our kindness, our love, our happiness. It's to spend that account. That's the goal. It's just another way of looking at it. But you got to spend it, because when you spend it, it grows twice as fast. And that's the key. Now, when you break it down to something that's simplistic, it's something everybody should be able to understand. You wake up with that. Now, the question now is, what are you investing it in? You can get that flat tire and still be happy and still be joyful about life. Matter of fact, you can sing while you're to yourself, while you're play some music in your car, roll your window down, and while you're changing the tire. You can be joyful while you're changing a tire. Okay? Dealing with an issue in life. It's just a flat tire. It's not the end of the world. And if you apply some joy to it, you may actually put out enough energy where somebody stops and helps you. You never can tell. I mean, it does happen. There are angels out there who are there to assist you. Real human flesh angels, but they're awesome people who will stop and make sure that that you're actually safe and help you take care of things. I've had that happen to me. I've done it for other people. It's just something. So we have a choice. We were talking before the show about waking up and walking outside, listening to birds chirp and sing, and just the noises of life, of nature, which are phenomenal. Here, I can get up and if I want, go down to the ocean and listen to the waves lap on the shore. It's a brilliant thing to do because it's so calming, right? It's very calming. And
oh my gosh, amazingly so.
Yeah, it is amazingly calm. And a lot of people will go to an amazing place and not see the beauty in where they are. And it's a choice. We have a choice about what we focus our attention on, what we love on, what we spend our kindness on. We have a choice to do that. We don't have to put it somewhere where it's not beneficial to us or anyone else. And that's the other thing, that getting caught up in life, so to speak, letting someone else diminish our joy or diminish our happiness or diminish the love we have for ourselves and the love we have for our life. When you love your life, everything, all the doors open for you. Right. And the key is to keep loving life.
No, go ahead. I had a question for you, Michael, because before I lose this thought, because you were talking about the voices in nature. Now, you lived in Hawaii, is that correct, for a while? Did you?
I lived in Hawaii for a while, yeah. Yeah, back in the 70s. Back in 1980, I spent the first 5 months.
Did you have an opportunity to see the whales and hear their songs when they were there, when they would travel through? I mean, I know a lot of people record them, but when you said that, it made me think, because like the humpback whales communicate with each other through singing, and in nature, and we were talking about the insects last week. Even the birds, they have their own song. And what's interesting, when they started looking at the whales, the song, they thought that it was the same one, but every year they have a new song, and each whale learns that tune. And so they travel underwater, and there's a voice and a vibration. They're traveling, endless miles, but there's a pattern. And it made me think about it, because like amidst our lives, we've got this song, and you find it, and you sort of have to go with that thing. And a lot of people, I think, in life get stuck. They keep singing the same song, and instead of really, singing maybe perhaps a tune of miracles and openness and abundance. And I think that's what you're sort of doing in your life right now. You're finding a new song to sing. And I
would agree with you. I'll answer you. Yes, that is true. Although I will tell you, in Hawaii, we went to, it wasn't back in the 80s, but it didn't exist. But there's a Pacific Whale Foundation. In Maui, you can go out in the channel on the Pacific Whale Foundation boat, and like we did. And they drop a microphone in the water in the middle of the channel We were there in January. And when it's in the middle of the birthing season, transient season, and the sounds we heard were of the whales singing was just fantastic. They dropped the microphone in the water and they turned it on loudly around the ship so everybody could hear it. And it's an amazingly calming experience to listen to the whales sing. Spectacular. And you can only really hear them sing if you drop the microphone in the water or if you're swimming in the ocean. And you can, dive if in the middle of the channel, which is pretty deep. It's kind of an interesting experience. You can hear them if you're in the water and you're have a snorkel on and whatever. But I mean, they dropped this thing down about 100 feet. The microphone, and it was pretty amazing, very, very beautiful. However, to answer your question, that is kind of what I'm doing right now. It's pretty amazing. I find it a challenge to describe how my life has kind of been elevated in the last. My feelings, I have greater connection to what I'm feeling about myself and other people, and paying close attention to making sure that when I'm engaging with other people, that I'm actually projecting what I'm feeling inside about myself: kindness, love,
That's
joy,
really beautiful.
being empathetic. It's this intentional thing that I'm doing right now, a very focused situation where my interactions with people, I'm looking them in the eye. I'm sensing, number one, when I connect with them, before any words are exchanged, I'm sensing what their mood is. I can see their body language. I can see the facial expressions. And I make it a point to somehow get them to smile before I leave, no matter what I'm doing. If I'm paying for a round of golf. Yeah, and it becomes an interesting game because life is a game. So how can I get this person to laugh? And sometimes I just ask them, what's going on? How you doing? You look pensive. You look like you got something on your mind. Everything okay? And they'll come out with whatever it is. People have never had a problem talking to me. I get people strangers to tell me personal stuff about their life within 5-10 minutes of knowing them. And it's always been a blessing to have that happen. I've been a good listener with strangers. I've worked on it within my relationship for many, many, many relationships for many years. However, you can do that. Instead of being caught up in your own little world of what's going on with you, you can literally project. You can spend your bank account of joy and happiness and love. You can spend it, put it out there, and shift somebody else's thinking, shift somebody else's mood, and apply, instead of coming back, anger for anger, frustration for frustration, stress for stress, impatience for impatience. You can literally refuse to do that and simply say, when they're impatient, you spend love and joy. And when they're angry, you put out love and joy, understanding, of course, that they're probably going through something that they feel that they're unable to handle, so they're acting out. And understanding that it's not you, it's what's going on in their life. It's how they're processing what has happened to them.
Part of what you're doing, I believe, Michael, is that you are starting to see things in a different way. These new energies that you're feeling, it's a lot like the whales, what they're doing every year. You and other souls on this planet are starting to tune into something that's out there. Maybe it's not the same song, but each one of us is tuning in the same way. The people, I believe, humanity on this planet are hearing a calling. I do see that as I'm walking throughout the world, whether it is in my daily routine, in what I'm doing, but I'm seeing it and I'm feeling it. I'm feeling this palpable difference of people wanting something, and they might not know what it is. They may not be able to quantify it, but they feel it. They know that there's something out there, whatever it is, and it's not another designer handbag or a new car or whatever it is, but there's something out there. And I think, Michael, that what you're doing is actually leading by example. You are finding the time. Actually, you know what? You're making the time because you recognize that this is important for you. It's important for you. So you're saying, this is important for me, so I'm carving out space in my day. You're redesigning how things look because you need this for you. You know, it's so interesting because whatever your day looks like, you're fitting things in, and you are feeling in just a different way inside. I can see it in you. And I have a question. Are you feeling more inner peace? Not that you weren't peaceful before, but I'd love for you to be able to describe to the audience what it is that you're feeling and what you're experiencing.
It is peaceful. It's balanced. It's feeling like you're on the right side of history, so to speak. The right side of the world, the right side of the moon. I'm on the right side of the planet. You know, it's a feeling where I told my girlfriend today, I said, you know, I was thinking about something this morning. In my mind's eye, I could see us doing something. And when I saw it in my mind's eye, I felt as though I was having what she and I affectionately call a Serafina moment, which is a moment where you're feeling like all warm inside, you know, warmth and love, connection, like you're in the moment of when it is. It was such a wonderful feeling. It's a feeling I get when I'm feeling a deep satisfaction, a depth of love that is palpable, where it's I don't know if I'm explaining it the right way. You have this warmth inside your solar plexus. It just radiates out of your solar plexus. Okay, it's this. You feel so good about yourself. You feel so good about life in that moment, and I call it, I guess, being present. But I told her, I said, I had this feeling, and that's kind of what it's like. I want purposely to create those moments more often when I connect with people, when I envision something. It's a deep feeling of love. One of the things that I must say that I've come to understand more than anything else, just in the past 3 months, in connecting with Carol Collins and all her videos, is the thread of love runs through absolutely everything. It runs through this earthly plane. It's the main thing in the afterworld, in our soul groups. It's the thing that people who have near-death experiences happen to point out, that there's such a depth of love that their minds are blown by it. And that's where we come from. And the harshness of this reality that we live in is that once personality becomes involved in judgment and reciprocity and anger and revenge and all these things, jealousy, greed, once people drink the Kool-Aid of this reality, somehow that it just kind of like becomes more of a challenge to actually experience it, because you have to work at it. You have to work at it. You actually have to recognize you got a bank account of love and joy and friendly and happiness and peace. You've got that. Now it's time to go out there and actively, as you go through your day, as you connect with people, either in the service industry or the gas station, or somebody you pass by, you're walking and you say hello, and you say, hey, make it an awesome day. Be well. Hope that I wish you a great walk, a great bike ride, whatever. That you got a smile on your face and you're facing life with a smile. That takes actual effort. It takes effort. It's worth it because your bank account's always full. However, it does take effort. It takes in the present moment effort. And the love aspect of things, that the more you love on, you get more of what you love. That's pretty much as simple as I can put it. You get what you love. And what you put joy and love and happiness into, you get more of. Beautiful. It's pretty simple. However, effort is the necessary ingredient to make it happen, and we have to constantly remain aware of what is in our vision, what we're focusing on, and to purposely focus on things we love, the beauty of things, architecture, plants, trees. I love palm trees. I love different kinds of palm trees. And I'll look at a palm tree and I could stare at a palm tree for, 10, 15
You're right,
minutes.
though. Their bark is fascinating. Right.
Yeah, it is. It's just the depth of it. And there's so many different kinds. I mean, where I live, there are many kinds that can't grow. In South Florida, a lot more grow than up here because of the humidity and the moisture in the air. And the fact that there's only 2 seasons versus three. And some places in the world only have 1 season, hot and hotter, and of course wet, hot, hotter, and then hot and wet. So, been to those places, and that it's a trip to be there. However, I more we talked about Tina Turner last week and before the show here, and in other things that I've been investigating, the more I see someone who came from a very challenging place, and a place that people would gauge, oh, that's tragic. Oh, I feel so sorry for you for having to deal with that space, that they became so incredibly wise and understanding of themselves. They took some active effort. She took an active effort to now go out and just figure things out. What is it what's most important to me in life? And, right. She accomplished it when she said, I'm okay with not performing again.
Yeah.
And that just says it all. When you say you're okay with not doing the thing that made you the star that you were or whatever, and her perception of it was completely different than ours. She saw herself as a different person on stage than she was off stage. She saw herself as acting when she was on stage. But that wasn't her. But that's what we all saw, right?
You're right.
And she and Cher were really good friends, Oh,
I didn't know that. That's very interesting.
Yeah, she and Cher, they became friends when she was with Ike. And when all of that happened and she left Ike, it was Cher that was there for her to talk to. They talked a lot. And she saw her. Cher had said that she saw her a couple weeks before she passed. And that Cher gave her some shoes. She gave her some shoes.
Sweet.
She said, these shoes, these shoes are awesome. You take these, As Carol says, buy whatever you want. Love on it, like it, get some joy from it, experience it, a wonderful experience from it, and then give it away.
Yeah.
But make sure you love on anything you give away first. Love on it first. Infuse it with love. The experience of love for yourself. That's to me, that's just a brilliant statement. Love on everything. Love on it. Find something to love on.
Well, and that's what Tina did. She really found a place to be in love with Buddhism. And she, one of the things I really appreciated about her, she had said that where you're born affects our beliefs, because she was born in the South in an African American community, so she was raised Baptist, and they have, so you sort of assume the beliefs of the community, and so from going to a Baptist faith to a Buddhist faith, but she was able to honor the similarities and also accept the differences, and I think that is really an important thing. She talked about the unity and diversity, and how that is really key. And one of her teachers, he was a Buddhist philosopher, and he said we have two eyes to see the two sides of things, but there's a third eye which will see everything at the same time and yet see nothing. To understand this is Zen. And I was like, it made me think about it, because that's what you and I can look at the same painting and we will see something different. And when you look at a painting close up versus far away, when I enjoy painting, and I always thought that there had to be perfection. This isn't right. These these great masters everything was perfect. And then when I got closer, I'm like, well, their hands really weren't that perfect. Maybe this wasn't, and they messed up here. And really, it's the illusion of that perfection, right? That we all have to have this. And so many of us are afraid to pick up that paintbrush and create that masterpiece in our life, because we just, we don't want to disappoint, or we don't want it to be wrong or not correct. And right?
We doubt what the outcome will be. Yeah, I mean, it's a shame. We have to take a risk in life. We have to take risks, and the risk is the reward. No matter what that reward may be, the fact that you actually made the effort, that's a reward. That you finished it, that's another reward. That you get to see what it is that experience what it is that you can do, that's a reward. There's many, many rewards in it. The thing I wanted to say about what you just said about Tina, coming to grips with her Baptist versus Buddhist beliefs. Think about what happens if you don't. If you're unable to mentally accept, to find the good in both, it becomes a conflict. I mean, everything I'll think about that. But if you grow up and you're, I grew up Protestant, okay, or Protestant one place, Presbyterian another, is very close, very similar. However. I haven't practiced that in a long time. I was baptized, and that was, once I graduated from high school, I was moved on. I think all parents want to give their kids some sort of moral compass. And so there's some sort of indoctrination. I live in the Bible Belt, and there are hundreds of different types of Baptist churches down here, hundreds of different kinds. There are 830 registered religions in California. 830. I mean, how can everybody be interpreting something in 830 ways? But it's possible, because everybody sees something different.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, I said 830 registered religions. They're not all. I mean, there's Hindu, Baptist, Protestant, Catholic, and it goes on and on. And when I sometimes sit back and think, what is everybody looking for? What are they seeking when they go to adopt a particular faith? What is it that it's seeking? I think in some ways there's perhaps there's the love. They're looking to rectify what's going on in their life, in themselves, with the peace and joy and love and friendly that they came from. I mean, in my view, that's the way it happens. You come from love and joy and peace, and you're thrust into this environment of every man, woman for themselves. All of the tragedy, the Mother Nature's wrath, so to speak, with hurricanes and tornadoes, and so a lot of destruction, and bullies in school, all these things, these personality disorders. I mean, all the stuff going on in the world, you're thrown into that. And in my view, religion is a way for people to kind of bring some rectification to this whole thing. And once a week or twice a week, you get a repositioning. But I do know that what's interesting, Baptist versus Buddhist, is one's based in fear and the other one is not.
Right.
My understanding.
Right. You're absolutely right.
And fear, yeah. And fear of what you won't get if you don't do this thing versus, hey, here's how to live on a daily basis, how to be happy. Here's how to experience love of yourself and others. And in my view, that's why she was drawn to Buddhism,
right?
Because you cannot be a Buddhist, but you can adopt some of the ideas and concepts without getting into the dogma of everything involved.
Right. Yeah, I love
just
and embrace.
Yeah,
common sense. One of the things I really embrace about Buddhism is that they honor all sentient beings. They recognize that everything has a conscience, a soul, really. And I had the divine, distinct honor of hosting Buddhist monks for a month at actually the house that's now the house is my dog's. And it was amazing because I watched the one monk, his brother perished in a flood, and he was given the news while he was here. And he was so tender, and he found the sweetest little bird, and watching him care for it, and he sort of in some ways agonized about finding food for the bird because he didn't want to harm the other beings, even though the nature. He put the bird into my care, and I said that's fine. I'm happy to care for it because. Whether to let it go or to what, but there was something that was really pulling at his heart, especially, it just happened right around the loss of his brother. So I think sometimes you're drawn to things. I was baptized Catholic and went to Catholic school and didn't, after my mom was Protestant, so she didn't take us to church. It was going to be my dad's thing, and he didn't really do it. So after my first communion, I kind of got away from it, but I honor a lot of the rituals. I think there's a lot of beauty. There's a lot of wonderful, miraculous things that have gone on with the saints. I honor the saints and still have a special place for them in my heart. But as you said, I think that there was control versus, by fear. And I don't believe that I'm in a universe that's not loving and friendly and compassionate. And yes, there are challenges, but it's how I choose to view my life. And I think that whatever you want in life, you have to sort of decide it. You have to believe that you can be happy and that you can bring those things into your reality, whether they be through, visualization or manifestation. Being clear, getting a clear mental picture of what your ideal world is. And that's part of what you did. You wrote down what you want. Like, I don't know too many people who take that time. Like, they'll say, yeah, I want this, but they're really not putting a lot of thought into that. If you could devise, a plan, a grand master plan, you can plot out everything, but life isn't like that. They say you're going to go do this, and sometimes we have speed bumps. I always call them speed bumps in life that divert us in a different direction. And when that diversion happens, our life oftentimes is more colorful than what we could even imagine. And when I would do blueprinting for what I wanted, and then I would always say, bring me this or something better, because I am only limited by my mind, my guides, everything else around me has a better idea of what's out there. I mean, look at the colors of a rainbow, right? Or, I'm getting this beautiful prism that's coming through my window right now as we're talking, and it's illuminating a painting on my wall. It's just, and the painting is beautiful by itself, but now that it's got this prism and these fishes, it's really quite beautiful. Even more so. I think that was the gift from the universe.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to post it yet, but 2 days ago there was a rainstorm that came through, and it was beautiful. I just looked right outside my back door, big rainbow, boom. Just thought that it was just absolutely gorgeous, and I got a picture of it. And I haven't posted it on Instagram yet, but I will do so.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have seen it if it hadn't been for the storm, right?
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah, you need to have the right combination of things to see the light coming through the prism and creating those beautiful colors. It is quite amazing. And I've taken pictures, many pictures of double rainbows, brilliant double rainbows, that, you know, you sit there in awe of their beauty. You can just sit there and stare at them for hours. They're just so gorgeous. And it's something that I would encourage our listeners here on PRN-FM to do, is to just take time to focus on things that are beautiful in your eyes. Mm-hmm. Focus on things that make you feel awesome. Be it I've seen flowers that come out of weeds that are gorgeous. Mm-hmm. And I just want to pick them and look at them, you know, to see how. I was
looking at them this morning.
Yeah, the joy and the beauty that. Yeah, it's there's so much, you know. Looking at palm trees, looking at architecture, looking whatever it is, your eye can focus. You want to focus your eye on things that are. I don't know how I can put it. You that are beautiful. Focus on the beauty in things. You can be in a desert and see, like I said, see one palm tree or three palm trees sitting there. Are you going to focus on how hot it is and where you are in the desert and how dry it is there, or are you going to focus on the beauty of the three palm trees? You can do that. It is possible, and you can use that as a metaphor at the office. Are you going to focus on the drama, or are you going to focus on the beauty of being there? You know, what you do. Find joy in something that you actually do during the day, and let the rest fall away mentally. What are we investing in? What are you investing in? Are you investing in negativity, and the drama, and the noise, and the distraction, and all those discord? How we're not alike, instead of what brings us together. Music brings us together. Love brings us together. We all have these things in common. Joy, happiness. We all have things that make us happy. I would rather talk to somebody who I know ideologically is diametrically opposed to anything that I believe. However, we do have something in common. You know, we all want to experience love in our lives. We all want to be happy. We all want to be joyful. We want to experience the best part of this life experience as non-physical vibrational beings in a physical life experience. We're here to experience the joy and to bring that joy and that love into this reality. The more we can do that, the better off we'll be, and the better off our reality will be. Mm-hmm. And it again, I use the word effort. I mean, it's so easy to get distracted. It's so easy for someone to call up with the drama of the day, and you're like, I start thinking it's not out of, you know, lack of compassion or empathy. But the first thing that goes in my mind is, why are they telling me this? Why is this important? Do they know that this really isn't important in the grand scheme of things? How long? I think a question I ask is, how long have you been thinking about this? How long has this been? How much of your day did this take up? And they go, I don't know, all day. I'm thinking about it all day. Why? You know, what does it have to do? And I attempt to get them refocused on what's important. Not that what happened to you isn't important. It's important to you because you're spending all this time on it. However, in the grand scheme of things, in the macro picture of your life, this is a grain of sand on a beach an infinite number of miles long. Why are you allowing this thing to make you feel the way you are? You know, it's just it's a simple thing. Let's figure out a process and let this go.
Yeah. And you know, you sent me something. I was going to say, I apologize, but you sent me something, and every time I'm having a challenge, I go back to it, because we were talking and you said, hey, you know, you were talking about the Love Train and how this show has been really focusing, and there was wonderful song you sent me by the OJs, Love Train. And when I really start, like, and you hear things, you listen to this music, and every time I listen to it, it makes me happy. I'm like moving and grooving, and it can cut through any negativity. And then I actually took a moment to actually look at the chorus and what the lyrics was. It was like people all over the world join hands, start a love train. And I'm like, and like literally when I say those words, I get shivers like from I'm
getting shivers now, for Christ's sakes. Neither doing this. I got a little chill happening right now in my arms and my upper body. It is a song that happens to permeate everything.
Everything.
It's as applicable in this very moment of our lives as it was when it was created. And if you think about that, it's timeless. Love Train. Why not? They need to blast this song in some of the most troubled areas of the world, reminding people that it's not about your own personality or what tribe you're in and the history of your tribe and how you historically don't like that tribe. This is it breaks it down to what is really important. This is all we want in the world. We want to be on the love train. That's where we want to be. Because that is an amazing place to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you play it, and you can't not be loving.
I know.
That's what they ought to do. Literally.
And it's hot in my office, and I have hair standing up on my end like I have goosebumps when you're speaking those words. Yeah. Honestly, I mean, all over the world, join hands. And I think that's what Tina was talking about too. Honor our similarities, unity.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, honor our similarities. It's an amazing thing. I have these songs that I tag and put into a list on my my Spotify playlist because they're songs that happen to elevate my mood, or just literally when I'm feeling loving, I like to put them on and just the song just resonates with exactly what I'm resonating. It's putting it out and I'm putting it out, and we got this thing going on, and you can't help but get this feeling that all's right with yourself, all's right with the world, everything will be okay. Don't worry, don't be concerned. Don't go into fight or flight mode. No reason to. Everything will work out. It's just it is pretty darn amazing. That is the beauty of it. Is that it'll all work out. And
and sometimes I might play it 5 or 6 times in a row because I don't want it to end. I don't want it to end.
No, you don't.
To keep,
because it's so electric. It's love amplified in a way that it is pretty amazing. It is pretty amazing. It's just one of those songs. There are some iconic songs like that you just want to have it. I think Earth, Wind, and Fire does a lot of iconic songs too. So I listen to songs from them as well. The live versions have more. I let my girlfriend listen to the live version from Japan back in the 70s of Earth, Wind, and Fire. A song called "Let's Groove." "Let's Groove Tonight."
I love that song. I love that song too.
Okay. The live version on their EWF album from Japan back in the 70s in their heyday is different than the actual studio version in that they turn it into a Brazilian beat. And it is spectacular. You cannot, it's like September Live. This live album has September and it has Let's Groove. And those 2 songs combined with Love Train, if you play the 3 of them, I just challenge you to have a bad day.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're ready to take flight completely because you're literally I mean, it just takes you to a whole different place. And I like to play them not when I'm in a down place. I like to play them when I'm in an up place. It's all about how can we keep this vibe going? How can I keep this love vibe, this joy vibe going? And be in complete control of riding. It's like riding a wave as a surfer. How can I stay on top of the wave? How can I stay on top of the wave? And how long can I stay on top of the wave? Not that I'm ever going to, if I fall off, how quickly can I get back up on the wave? That's really what it's about. And if you look at it, there's my metaphor for life right there. Ride the wave, fall off the wave, get back on the wave as quickly as possible, and keep riding.
Yeah,
and
maybe we need to do like the Love Train Project or something like that, where everybody at a certain time of day around the world plays the song.
Challenge
everybody in the world. Yeah,
that would be kind of cool.
Go ahead. I mean, let's
during the COVID lockdown
right now, right?
Yeah, the COVID lockdown. During the COVID lockdown, people in New York City would put speakers out and they'd play positive music, right? And I'm thinking that, we should literally put a challenge out for people to listen to this song for 30 days in a row and see how they feel. Yeah. Twice a day, 30 days in a row. In the morning and in the evening. And maybe during the middle of the day, if they, lunchtime or whatever, play the song. It's a reminder. How can that song reprogram people to be more loving? Wouldn't that be interesting? Connect to Love by riding the love train.
Yep, absolutely. Maybe we can get some of our musician friends involved and have them even cover it or just join in. I mean, and do something creative with it.
The OJs are still out there. I think only one of the brothers' family members is still perforing. And they're still doing some touring. Yeah, they're still doing some touring. And of course, his son had a group. One of the sons, well, there was a group that his son had a few hits back 20 or so years ago. However, there's just nothing like it. There's nothing like the song itself. Just listening to it, you can get it everywhere. It's on Spotify, Pandora, whatever. Love Train by the OJs. I challenge our audience to listen to it every day, and put it out there. If you got any comments, yeah,
right,
absolutely.
Chair dancing or whatever. I don't challenge you not to dance.
However, and you can move on to Let's Groove on a live version of it, which is twice as fast, if not 2.5 times as fast as what's on the album. It just kicks. It rocks. How can you not dance? Doesn't matter when it's move. How can you not move to that? It's just amazing. And there are some songs as music. Music it cuts through everything. It literally cuts through everything and make you feel awesome. And we are, as human beings, connected to vibration, musical or otherwise. And that is, if we just simply remember that. So my challenge to our viewers is listen to Love Train, download it, listen to it on the way to work, listen to it at lunch, listen to it on the way home, let it permeate your being and remind you of what is really, really important in life, which is love in its many manifestations and incarnations.
Right.
That's it.
So I'm going to embrace that challenge. I'm going to accept the challenge, and I'm going to record it. I'm going to do like my little Love Train journal, and I let you know how I feel. And I don't know. Maybe we can do something at the end. I'm going to just see how every time that there's something that is the opposite positive that shows up, I'm going to just pop that phone on and see what it shows.
I hate to say this, but I was in the shower yesterday. I was in the shower yesterday listening to this song, and I was doing I was remembering some of the dance moves that the OJs would make during the song. Seeing them live. way back when. I used to see them, they used to be on Soul Train. They used to be on television shows or whatever.
You know what? Soul Train came on right after American Bandstand. Yep. I just watched
Make it up.
Soul Train. Yep.
Yeah, and you're like, you can't make up your own moves, man. That could be a TikTok challenge. I think it should. Somebody who's on TikTok should do that.
Yeah,
start that challenge, or the Love Train challenge. Make up your own, because it's all about that. Let's focus on that versus all the other things that are going on, because that's what people need in life right now. They need love for themselves and love for everybody else, and living and breathing from love instead of the other lower frequency emotions and feelings and vibrations that we deal with. Every time you drop low,
no pun intended,
get up.
Right? When you're on the love train, you're on the right track. It's like the right track.
Oh, wow. Okay, there we go.
To begin your journey, right? Traveling towards something better, right? You get on that train. You can envision what that train is going to look like. It's
going to shift your thinking in a heartbeat. You cannot be upset when you listen to that song. I mean, it's like, what, are you going to be angry about something? You're going to be mad about something? You're going to be living in a world of regret listening to that? No. You're going to be in the moment listening to that song and remembering that the only thing that's important in life is the love you're experiencing and feeling in that moment. You're either giving it, you're experiencing it yourself, giving it to yourself, giving it to somebody else, sharing it with the world. That's what's important. And if you stay on that track, in my view, your life changes. It changes, and the things you have, if you want, it's. We haven't talked about this, but we can talk about it next week. But love is an integral part. It's one of the keys to manifestation. Mm-hmm. Love is one of the major keys to manifesting what you want in your life. And we can talk about that in our next show. Hopefully we'll have Carol on. I sent her an email, Carol Collins, come back on. We can actually approach that particular topic of how love is connected to law of attraction and manifesting what you want in your life. It's the key more than anything else. What you love on, you get. And wrap your mind around that one. Okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for Michael, for the inspiration. So wonderful to have you part of our love train here on Connect to Love on PRN-FM, each one of you, and delighted beyond measure, Michael. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So much.
It's been a great time.
Until next time.
It's been a great time. Let's do it again. Do it again next week. Okay?
See you next week.
Be well.